Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about basically being more relaxed around food, my approach to eating healthy, my approach to living balanced in terms of how I eat, and sort of what I think about like dieting and rules and stuff like that. I actually had no idea what I was gonna do for a video today, and I almost didn't do one, and I was sitting on my floor like eating dinner. Oh crap. And I looked down at this like gross, where is it? This like oil splotch on the side of my little container, and I was thinking, one, like, ew, that's really gross, and then two, I was thinking about how probably a year ago when I first started eating high carb, low fat vegan, I probably would have been really uncomfortable eating so much oil. And the thing is, oil is not a health food, and like especially fried oil is really not a health food. This is just takeout from Panda Express. It's a lot of white rice, and I also got a little container. I'll just show it to you. A little container of soup or oily fried tofu and eggplant stuff, and that's like, oh god, see, I just got all over my fingers. That's basically like the only vegetarian option they have. And you know, I know in some certain oh my chopsticks, jeez. In certain like communities on YouTube, like people would say eat just plain white rice over anything oily, anything processed. I mean, tofu is a processed food. This is like fried and oily, and probably clearly it's not healthy. And yeah, probably from a purely health perspective, like white rice is probably healthier plain than with that stuff, but I like food that tastes good, and not that white rice doesn't taste good, and yeah, I can definitely enjoy just like a plain bowl of white rice, but to me, like one huge mental shift that I had was realizing that if I base my diet around whole plant-based carbohydrate foods, I can eat whatever I want as long as that's not the basis of my meal. So I can have a big bowl of rice, and then I can have, you know, this oily kind of crappy food and treat it more like a condiment and use it to give, you know, more flavor or whatever to my food. And it's not, you know, gonna impact my health in an incredibly negative way. And yeah, some people might disagree with me, but for me, that is how I don't feel deprived really ever, because I really feel like I can eat whatever I want. So yes, to talk about oil quickly, I don't cook with oil when I'm making my own food. Like perhaps very, very, very occasionally I'd use like white truffle oil, something like that to add flavor, but that's really, really rare. Otherwise, I really stay away from oil. I think food tastes totally fine without it. I try to stay away from super refined sugars, but you know, I'll use maple syrup or sprinkle a little bit of sugar over like oatmeal, especially if I'm traveling. And, you know, I don't think agave syrup is a health food. I don't think syrups and oils and anything incredibly processed is not a health food. But again, if you treat it like a condiment, ketchup, mustard, whatever, vinegar, then I don't see how it's that bad for you. And, yeah, I think it's really good to have a more relaxed approach to eating. Especially if you're the kind of person who's prone to eating disorders or prone to like just disordered ways or complicated ways of thinking about food or dieting or restriction, binging, anything like that. And then the other thing I wanted to quickly touch on is brown versus white rice, because a lot of people in the high carb, low fat vegan community eat white rice over brown rice because it's lower in fat. And my opinion is that I think personally that brown rice is healthier because it is the least processed version of rice. But I don't think white rice is bad for you, and I think as long as you're eating a balanced diet anyway, either of them are fine. And what I mean by balanced diet is, you know, including greens and fruits and vegetables, and variety in your diet. And I know, I've read the Starch Solution. I know Dr. McDougall says you don't really need that stuff, and like you could get so much, like you could just basically live off of potatoes, and I do believe that. But you know, there are all these different micronutrients in different forms of greens and different nutrients, and you know, different things that you get from different types of fruits, vegetables, everything. So you know, I personally like to eat lots of different kinds of food, and I find it more entertaining and more tasty, and so I like to eat lots of different things. So yeah, that's basically my take. I try not to take myself too seriously when I eat food. I try to keep it fun and eat what I like to eat. I eat things like vegan junk food, cookies, whatever. I just don't base my diet around that. And before, when I would try to restrict my food, I would like not eat that much food at all and then eat like a cookie and tell myself I would just eat one cookie, and then that cookie would turn into like a box of cookies. And that was because I was trying to restrict my food. But now that I eat really in abundance, eat as much food as I want, especially, you know, a diet high in carbohydrates, I don't feel like binging. I don't feel like overeating on things that are less healthy, and I really can just have one cookie and not feel deprived, because I'm not eating that cookie for like to meet my nutritional needs or to meet my caloric needs. It's just, you know, to enjoy the flavor. So I hope that wasn't too confusing. It's kind of difficult doing these uncut videos, and tomorrow I'm actually leaving Hawaii and going back home, so I will get a computer that works again, and I'll be able to do vlogs, probably vlogs for the rest of December again, maybe a couple talking videos here and there. But yeah, I hope that was helpful, and stay tuned for my next video. Did I just say that? For my next video? I can't edit that out. Alright, good night.